Hi everybody, welcome to Lai's Family Kitchen. I'm Lynn. Today I'm going to make an iconic Cantonese dish, sweet and sour pork. I have been eating this dish and cooking it for many years, and I have finally perfected the recipe, and I'm going to share that with you today. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you how to prep ahead so you can make sweet and sour pork in 15 minutes whenever you crave it. Let's get started. Here's what we're going to do. Let's start with prepping the vegetables and the aromatics, and then we're going to make the sweet and sour sauce. While the sauce cools, we will cut and fry the pork, and then we're going to put the whole dish together. We need half an onion, half a red bell pepper, and half a green bell pepper. Cut the vegetables into 1.5-inch pieces, about 3 centimeters, and set aside. We will also need 1 clove of garlic, finely minced or grated, about 1 teaspoon, and half a teaspoon of ginger. Pineapple is a critical ingredient in the sweet and sour pork dish. This is what gives this dish its distinct sweet and tart flavor. We're going to need an 8-ounce can of pineapple chunks in pineapple juice. We'll use the pineapple juice in the sweet and sour sauce and the pineapple chunks in the stir fry in the final dish. So what we do with this is just simply, open it. And then drain the juice. Try to get as much juice out of it as you can. And give it a gentle squeeze to get it all out there. This should yield about 1/3 cup of pineapple juice. Next, let's make the sauce. For the sauce, we're going to need the pineapple juice we just drained, about 1/3 cup, 1/4 cup of ketchup, 1/3 cup of white vinegar or rice wine vinegar, and then 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and to thicken the sauce, we're also going to need 1 tablespoon of water mixed with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch for later. To make the sauce, start by combining sugar and ketchup in a medium saucepan before turning on the heat. Stir them together thoroughly. This step ensures the ketchup dissolves more easily when the other liquid ingredients are added. Next, pour in the vinegar, pineapple juice, and soy sauce, stirring until the mixture is well combined. Turn on the heat to medium and bring the sauce to a boil. When it's bubbling vigorously, mix the cornstarch with water to create a slurry and add to the sauce. Stir immediately and continuously to prevent lumps from forming. Allow the sauce to return to a boil. And when it becomes glossy and thickened like this, it's ready. Remove from heat and set aside to cool. Traditionally, sweet and sour pork in China is made with pork belly. With this recipe, you can use pork belly, pork shoulder, or pork tenderloin. And what I have here is 8 ounces of pork tenderloin. I'm going to trim off some of the fat and tendons from the pork. Cut the pork into 1-inch pieces, about 2.5 centimeters. Next, let's marinate the pork. For that, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper, and then 1 teaspoon of white rice wine. Rice wine and the pepper are both optional, so if you don't have them, you can simply omit them. We're also going to need half an egg. You might be wondering, how do you take half an egg? Well, here's what you do. Crack it, and then beat it. And then we're only gonna use half of it. Okay, that's about good. Now add the rest of the marinated ingredients. And mix it all up. Next, we're going to need half a cup of all-purpose flour and half a cup of cornstarch. You can also substitute with tapioca or potato starch. We're going to mix these two together in a bowl. Give it a good mix. And this will make a perfect dredge for the pork that will make the pork super crispy when it's fried. Okay, now we're ready to dredge the pork. So simply pick up the pork pieces. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a bunch of them, drop them into the flour. Make sure they're very well coated with the flour mixture, and then put them on a plate. Now let's get ready to fry the pork. I'm heating up 5 cups of canola oil to 375 degrees. It is very important for the oil to be hot. If the oil is not hot enough, the pork would be greasy and not crispy. So I would recommend a thermometer to check the temperature of the oil before you fry and when you're frying to try to maintain close to 375 degrees. Once the pork is dropped into the oil, the temperature of the oil will start to drop. Cook the pork in 2 batches to avoid overcrowding and avoid the temperature dropping too fast. Check the temperature of the oil from time to time. You want it to kind of maintain around 375, between 350 and 375. If your temperature is dropping too fast, then increase the heat so that it will bring the temperature back up. When the sizzling sound has subsided and the pork is turning lightly golden brown, then it's ready. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to fry the pork. Once the pork is ready, remove them and place them on a paper towel-lined pan to catch the dripping oil. Repeat the process for the second batch. Now we're ready to put the dish together. Heat up the wok until it is smoking hot, and you can feel how hot it is on the top. I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of peanut oil. Give it a good swirl, and then toss in the vegetables. Cook it for about 1 minute until it's lightly browned, and then we're going to toss in the pineapple chunks. Cook for about another minute until the pineapple chunks are heated through. If you prefer your vegetables more tender, then you can cook it for a little bit longer. Now add the garlic and the ginger. Toss in the pork. Now pour the sauce into the wok and mix well. And there you have it, Cantonese sweet and sour pork. Here's a tip on how to prep ahead so you can make this dish in 15 minutes. Slightly underfry the pork and refrigerate or freeze it. Make the sauce and then do the same. You can even pre-cut the vegetables for up to 2 days in advance and refrigerate it. So when you're ready to make sweet and sour pork again, simply refry the pork until golden brown and crispy. Reboil the sauce. Don't microwave it, it would make a mess and cook unevenly. And then follow the same steps to finish the dish. I always make a double batch of this recipe and serve half for dinner, then save half of the ingredients so I can make it again the next day in 15 minutes. Here you go, sweet and sour pork. Let me know how you like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.